This video I'm going to teach you something about habits that some books will teach you in a few hours. So first of all I want to explain by using analogies how good and bad habits work. So good habits are it's like a path that you travel in a jungle, and every time you go through that path one more time you trample over the plants and the path is getting clearer. And the more often you go through that path, the more clear does it become. The same thing applies to the good habits. The more often you do a good habit, like for example going to the gym, the easier it will get for you to go to the gym, because you gain momentum, because it's being automatized, because you need to put less effort to get the same outcome, which is going to the gym. And the bad habits can be compared to a rocket leaving the attraction of a planet. Let's say Elon Musk has his own rocket and wants it to leave the Earth. He has to leave the attraction of it first. And let's say he wants to travel to Mars. He wants to leave the bad habits called Earth and go to the Mars, which we will say is a good habit, okay? Let's say you don't want to waste time on social media and want to read instead. And the thing is that the rocket will use like 95% of its, how do you call it, man? Gas or liquid, like the things that is needed to rocket to just accelerate. And after that rocket leaves the attraction of Earth, it barely needs any additional fuel in order to come closer to Mars or to the good habit. And the same is to rocket. Like if you want to leave Earth's attraction, I'm not sure if it's the English word for it, but like it attracts it. And if you suddenly stop flying, then you will lose momentum, and then when you need to use the fuel again, you will overall need more fuel, because you have to gain that space that you lost by not flying. The same applies to the bad habits. The more often you do the bad habits, the more automatized, the easier it is to do that bad habit. And some statistics say that for good habits and bad habits, for good habits, if you skip one day of not doing the good habit, you'll lose one. You'll need one day to recover. Like you need to do the good habit on the next day, in order for it to recover, to be as automatized as as before the moment you, how do you call it, man? You skipped a day, for example, going to the gym. If you, however, skip 2 days, then it's actually kind of worth of 1 week of progress. So you will need 7 days to recover from it. You need to go one day to the gym in order for the habit going to the gym be as automatized as before skipping those 2 days. Obviously it's not 2 days unless you go to the gym every day, but I hope you do get the point. And actually kind of the same applies for bad habits. 1 day takes 1 day, 2 days take 1 week to recover from. So the conclusion from that fact is that you should never ever skip more than 1 day for good habits, or do more than one time or 1 day the bad habit. Don't ever do that. Here are some additional hacks you can use in order to get rid of bad habits or acquire good ones with less effort or smarter. So if you want to quit a bad habit, you actually need to replace it. Because let's say I would like you not to imagine a pink elephant. Guess what you just did? You imagined a pink elephant. Why? Because your brain does not understand the word do not do that. Let's say you're addicted to the internet or to video games. And let's say you want to quit playing video games. The next time you'll get bored, you say, okay, I'm not going to play video games. But your brain thinks, okay, what am I going to do instead? Not just sit on the couch or something. And that's the problem. And then you will have nothing to do, you'll get even more bored, and you'll go back to the bad habit, video games. So what are you going to do instead of playing video games? Reading books, doing your homework, going outside, whatever. You need one replacement. I, for example, would replace it with reading a book. If it's too difficult, then you can, watch YouTube instead of playing video games. At least it worked for me. And for the good habits, you need to first just start small. If you, for example, want to make it to turn going to the gym into a habit, you should not directly force yourself to go to the gym 3 times a day for 2 hours. It would actually be better if you go to the gym 3 times a day for 10 minutes. And then in the second week, for 20 minutes. In the third week for 30 minutes, and so on. Because consistency matters more than the quality at the beginning. Imagine having a fat guy in front of you and saying, hey dude, go to the gym 3 times a day and each session gotta take like 2 hours. Will you actually believe me if I say that he actually accomplishes it? Obviously not. So take your ego and kind of handle yourself as that fat guy. Don't underestimate the effort that you need to put into going to the gym. And if you don't feel like it, then just go there, do nothing, and go back. It's still better than doing absolutely nothing. If you go there and go back, at least you are creating the habit of going to the gym and then training and so on. You need momentum, and momentum is built only through consistency. And consistency leads to quantity, and quantity leads to quality, and quality to results. I hope you found this video really valuable. Subscribe and put a like.